Welcome everybody to the Cove. Godzilla vs. King Kong. I've been waiting for this movie ever since Godzilla King of the Monsters came out. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dive in. So let's talk about the movie. Alright everybody, Godzilla vs. King Kong finally came out on HBO Max, but even more importantly, came out in theaters. So go ahead and make sure you guys go and support your local theaters. We're trying to, bring some normalcy back into the world. So I gotta say, it was great going back to the theaters. It was great spending $20 on a popcorn and soda. It's not that high, but pretty close. But it was just great getting back, going to the movie theaters is me and my fiance's favorite hobby to go and do. So it was just we haven't been to the movies in over a year, so going back, it was just nice. It was great listening to Godzilla and King Kong roaring and surround sound blowing out my eardrums. I kind of miss that stuff. But without further ado, let's get into the movie. So Godzilla vs. King Kong pretty much starts out with Kong is captured. They don't show how he got captured, but they have him at his own Titan facility. They say it is Skull Island, but it's this little building where it's kind of a base, but everything's they just make a fake world around him. Kong knows, so of course he gets a little pissy because he's all big and he wants, he wants to go home. Well, as you've seen in the trailer, there's this girl that has a connection with Kong, and Kong respects her and kind of takes care of her, and she's able to kind of point Kong where to go, calm him down and all that. So long story short, there's a scientist that says, hey, Kong can't leave here because Godzilla's gonna come after him now. He's the alpha, and Kong doesn't really bow to anybody. So what happens is Godzilla shows up to this apex. Funny little sarcasm in that, or not sarcasm. What was I trying to say? Little ironic name for this company. He goes, destroys this thing. One of the human characters, there's only a few in here other than the main scientists that are tracking the Titans or whatever, finds this big old red orb type thing. It's some power source or something. He has his own podcast. Everybody thinks he's paranoid, but it's the Titans Truth podcast or something like that. Finds it and he thinks, alright, Godzilla came here to destroy that. Why did he destroy it? Millie Bobby Brown comes up later as from King of the Monsters. She's trying to talk to her dad, who was also in the movie. I can't remember his name, but she's Godzilla's provoked. He helped save us. He saved me from Ghidorah. He's good. So what are we doing that's provoking? Well, he's all no, we gotta stop him. He's our only ally against the Titans. We need to figure out a way. Why? Whatever. And just kind of ignored her. She gets her little buddy, who I'm pretty sure is the kid from Deadpool 2 with the fire powers. I can't remember his name. He's in this movie. And they go and try to figure out what the heck's going on. So they meet up with the guy that has the podcast. And, it's just kind of simple. For everybody complaining that the human development and story arc is kind of lame, I got news for you. Read the freaking title. It's called Godzilla vs. Kong. We're not coming to watch humans. I came to see the big freaking lizard that shoots atomic breath, and I'm trying to see the big freaking monkey just duke it out for 2 hours. If you're complaining about that, I don't know, just go on somewhere with yourself. So anyways, that's happening. Godzilla attacks all over the news. So the lady that's studying Kong has a guy who's been studying Titans, whatever, for a while. It's Alexander Skarsgård, I believe, his character. Comes in and says, hey, we need Kong to lead us to this world that all the Hollow Earth portals lead to. There's a power source there, they say, that gives Godzilla his power for his atomic breath and everything. He says that Kong should be able to lead them all. Titans know how to get there, whatever. It's a signaling beacon for them where to go or whatever. She says no as soon as he leaves the facility. Godzilla's gonna come after Kong, blah, 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 blah. He convinces her. Then we get our scene with the boats all over the sea, the naval craft carriers. And that stuff was pretty cool coming onto it. There's a character that comes in here from the owner of Apex, his daughter. She's the most worthless character I've ever seen in a movie, whatever. She comes aboard, basically shows her power, I'm in charge of you get paid for me, it's gonna work my way, yeah, whatever. So long story short, they're on sea trying to avoid all the known spots that Godzilla goes around his territory. No, Godzilla shows up on the radar. The whole scene from the trailer you see starts to play. Kong starts getting pissed, but they have him chained up. That whole sequence of fights and everything that happened on sea were pretty cool. And the sea fight is, Godzilla definitely wins this match. Kong barely escapes, almost drowns, gets saved from some charges that the people use, and they end up burning all the ships off, cut the engines and everything. Godzilla looks as if they're dead because Kong's pretty much knocked out at this point. Leaves, blah, 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 blah. This is where the movie kind of gets a little slow. They start exploring like the Hollow Earth stuff once they finally get Kong to like this base. I think it's in Antarctica or something. The girl is able to finally communicate with Kong. You see right before the fight with Godzilla, she's able to like use a sign language and things that the scientists have used trying to communicate with Kong. He actually tells them, I want to go home, does something like home, and that's a big reveal. So she tells them that, hey, there's some family members of yours that might be down there. So Kong finally agrees to go down there. And this scene was kind of cool when they finally get to the Hollow Earth area. It's like everything flipped over. So imagine that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where they have to get Jack Sparrow away from Davy Jones' locker. That it's kind of like that. But, alright, spoiler. Well, I've already spoiled the movie, but big spoiler here. Don't know. Easter egg alert. When Kong is finally running down here in this Hollow Earth, he runs along the beach, and there's these giant crabs that come out. Well, as he's running, one of these crabs get eaten by a monster. And I don't know for sure, but this monster that eats him looks exactly like a replica of like Godzilla's baby, like Godzilla's son or whatever, you know, back in the older movies. It looks just like him, like a young baby Godzilla grown up. So I don't know maybe if they're hinting at that for in the future. I know they don't have any plans for the MonsterVerse right now, but we'll see. So Kong's running around, it's cool, you know, you get your cinematography, cool shots and all that. Finally comes to this place where there's a throne. You see a bunch of like his ancestors' bones and all that. And then he finds it. Stormbreaker. Not really, he finds that little axe you see in the trailer. The one where he does like pretty much a Stormbreaker thing, instead of throwing it at Godzilla, he like absorbs it. It's basically the spine of another species of Godzilla. Gets it, Godzilla feels the power surging from below while he's in Japan trying to destroy another Apex facility, which, oh wow, nobody saw this coming. They were trying to build Mecha Godzilla. Thanks for the trailers, ruined that. So, Godzilla gets pissed, starts atomic breath through the core of the earth to the Hollow Earth. Kong and Godzilla get mad at each other. The big fight in Japan takes over. It's so cool, like just, this is what we've been waiting for, folks. The fight scene between the two was awesome. Had a lot of fun with it. Godzilla hits Kong finally with an atomic breath in the back, and like the facial expression of Godzilla looks like he's laughing, and that was cool. The speed of Kong, they really show this in like the IQ of Kong. Really cool how they did it. Kong's very resourceful. Finally uses that axe to do the we're gonna call it the Mjolnir smash, Stormbreaker smash actually. He hits Godzilla, lo and behold then Mecha Godzilla fight ensues. But they went in a direction I was not expecting. So I had a theory that Ghidorah's head from King of the Monsters was going to come into play. It did, not the way I expected though. So basically they had the head of King Ghidorah. They had like pretty much a Pacific Rim style thing. You put a helmet on and the guy becomes one with the mech. Well, they get a source of the power from the Hollow Earth area, like the blue stuff that shines on Godzilla. They put it in, it overpowers it, dude gets his brain fried, and now basically it's like the essence of Ghidorah's in the mech, and the mech is thinking for itself. Mech starts going spastic, goes after Godzilla because, you know, Ghidorah kind of got beat by Godzilla, so I'm sure he's a little pissed. But Godzilla's almost about to get taken out, and Kong teams up with Godzilla. We seen this coming a mile away pretty much. Right before that fight scene, my favorite scene personally, Godzilla does beat Kong. After Kong whoops him a little bit. Comes back, and like the coolest scene ever, Godzilla could easily kill him. Kong's at the mercy of the King of Monsters. But what's he do? Just screams in his face like when your significant other takes a pizza roll off your plate after saying they're not hungry. That scene was cool. Kong doesn't back down though, screams back. I think at this point then Godzilla earns respect for Kong. So after that, as Godzilla's about to get killed, Kong comes up and helps because the girl tells Kong Godzilla's not the enemy, the mech's the enemy. Cool fight scene happens. They win. Godzilla's ready to fight Kong, but you can just see Kong's has no energy left. I mean, Kong's kind of been pummeled the whole movie. So then they go on their own ways, and that's the end of the movie. There's no post-credit scene, anything like that, because from what I read, they don't know what to do with the MonsterVerse as of right now. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you something that I thought what should have happened and could be a very interesting plot. So next MonsterVerse movie, you could either team up Godzilla and Kong or not. Don't care. I'm more of a Godzilla fan anyways. But what you can do is that head of Ghidorah, they can try to get some more DNA, and I'm thinking maybe they can try to create Destroya. They've seen that the mech, or they're trying to study it or whatever, something goes wrong in the lab, Destroya gets created, blah, 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 blah. Maybe they're hinting at that with the little maybe baby Godzilla. Who knows? But that's where I think they can go with it. My review for Godzilla vs. Kong, I'll be honest, I was hoping the movie would be a little bit better. It is slow in portions, especially when you're leading up to the Hollow Earth. It's just like, the humans in the Godzilla movies, they've never been like, that story arc and that pacing part of the movie has never been great, so I don't know why anybody's expecting different. Fight scenes were great. Wish we had a little bit more of them. But my main complaint about the movie is they just played it too safe. What I mean by that is Godzilla has a fight where he looks like he's clearly the winner. Kong has a fight where he looks like he's clearly the winner. Then Godzilla comes back and is like king of the monsters. It's just they played it too safe. The freaking trailers ruined everything. I was going to do a reaction to the second trailer, but the first one revealed